This review is meant to get you started in preparation for working three-man in the state tournament. This is in no way complete preparation for your task at hand. It is an attempt to cover most of the more common plays and mistakes in coverage that are made. If you have been in the tournament the last 2 years, you will recognize this presentation. I have made tweaks to it, and I hope you will view it. If you have three-man wired, feel free to stop here and not watch it, and I will enjoy your perfection on the field. Getting reps is the best way to learn three-man. Unfortunately, opportunities are limited. Get a couple of buddies and offer to a school to work at practice. Add a third to a game if you can, even if it means only getting pay for 2. Go through the manual, one position at a time, taking a break in between. Make flashcards and use those. I would suggest studying in 20-minute increments. Longer than that and it gets hard to retain the information. Some umpires don't ever grasp the three-man system. This is okay if you realize it. Tell your partners you are struggling and they can communicate to help you get to the right spot. Don't let it affect your calls because you are stressing. All charts and mechanograms that are used in this presentation were taken out of the Minnesota Mechanics Manual. I cannot emphasize enough to communicate. You've increased your crew by 50%. Communication has to increase that much as well. These are the 20 catch responsibilities for no runners on base. 5 infielders moving in the 4 possible directions. You can drive yourself crazy trying to memorize them. Just know that they are common sense. The umpire with the best look has the responsibility. A lot of time doesn't need to be spent with this in pregame. Just discuss what kind of eye contact and communication will be made between umpires in a gray area catch, so that there is not a double call being made. The positions depicted here are just in general. You should be 10 to 12 feet behind the first or third baseman. If the defense is playing deep, you will likely be in the outfield grass. If the defense is playing in, you may be halfway between the outfield grass and the base. For the plate umpire and U1, these are the same as two-man. Follow the batter up the line, and U1 gets distance and angle for the safe out call at first. U3 enters the infield on the run to get to the working area for a possible play at second or third should there be an overthrow. Looking at this seems very simple. It is the most common situation in the game, yet we always seem to get multiple cases where both wing umpires go out on fly ball coverage and leave the plate umpire to cover everything in the infield. You must pause, read, and react. Not just reading the ball, but the fielder and most importantly, your partner. U3 especially must read U1 because if he goes out, even incorrectly, U3 must come into the infield for coverage on all bases on the batter runner. I labeled this well hit ball in the gap because I wanted it made clear that this is the ball that neither wing is going out on. It is clearly a hit. Note that the diagram shows the plate umpire can take this play at third, inside or outside. This is one of the 3 rotations that take the home plate umpire to third. A hit like this in two-man would have the plate umpire staying home. That sometimes causes confusion and a failure to rotate here. Another frequent error is that U1 will rotate and come into the infield. That mistake is okay if he realizes the error and can come home from the inside of the diamond. The coverage here is the same as the previous play, with the exception that the ball is expected to be caught. Again, U1 has the option of pivoting in the infield or staying outside the baseline, and if the ball is dropped, must be ready to come home. Again, if the ball is dropped, the plate umpire has the option of inside or outside for a play at third. This is a fairly straightforward play that we get right nearly all the time. The plate umpire has to move up the line and be ready for a throw behind the runner at first, as this is too far for U3 to come. This play mirrors the previous play with the ball hit to left field. U3 stays out until the play is concluded and coverage reverts to two-man. On both of these plays, the wing umpire heading out needs to communicate with a verbal "I'm out" and a visual raising of his arm. U1 should be in a position to look at the pitcher just to the left of the runner when the runner takes a normal lead. Should the runner only take a very short lead, this will bring you too close and you should look over the runner's right shoulder. U3 can choose B or C, with the exception of you should be in C when a left-handed batter is up because you have check swing responsibility. With R1, U1 is much closer to first base than normal. On any ground ball in the infield, you need to back up to get angle and distance for the play. U3, because we are so used to taking both ends of the double play in two-man, needs to fight the temptation to turn to first and stay with the play at second to judge possible slide rule interference. With a runner at first, U3 in the infield has the most fly ball responsibility. The plate umpire and U1 have trouble ball coverage outside the wedge area on the lines, and U1 takes back right field on a trouble ball. R1 is the key to this rotation taking place. If he commits to third, so does the plate umpire, and U1 commits to coverage at home. When the plate umpire moves to third, he must verbally communicate to his partners that he has third. He can take the play in the cutout or in foul ground. This is basically the same play as the previous slide, except the ball is in left field and is not a clean hit. With less than 2 outs, R1 would likely go halfway, and if the ball drops, may not be able to make third base. In this situation, U3 would have any play on R1 back into second base. U1 would have the batter runner at first. U1 needs to communicate verbally and by raising his arm that he is going out on the fly ball. This action cues the other two umpires to revert to two-man system coverage. This is the same situation as the previous slide, except we know the ball is down for a hit. The plate umpire must take the play at third in the cutout because he has coverage at home and must retreat there should there be an overthrow at third and R1 attempts to score. This ball takes the left fielder toward the foul line, meaning that responsibility goes to the plate umpire. He can take a possible play at third base in the cutout or foul ground, since U1 has any play at the plate should R1 attempt to score. Because there are 2 outs, R1 will be running on the play, so it is almost a certainty that he will commit to third, making this an automatic rotation. With runners on first and second, outfield coverage is the same as with R1 only. It is not likely that R1 will be held on by the first baseman, but U1 should be alert for backdoor pickoff attempts by the pitcher or catcher. This is an option that doesn't get used much, but if you discussed it in the pregame and are 80% or better confident that the offense will be attempting to sacrifice bunt, it gives the crew better coverage for the potential of a play at third base that could be close. The mechanigram shows the difference in the outfield coverage. This is the first situation of a reverse rotation. When U1 slides into the infield, he should communicate to U3 that he is behind him. Both base umpires must be aware that U1 has the batter runner at second, but U3 has R1 at second should he make a big turn but then return to the base. This is the third situation that causes the plate umpire to rotate to third. This particular ball is hit in the plate umpire's outfield coverage area, but the rotation occurs on any fly ball that would result in R2 tagging up and attempting to reach third base. It is key on this play that both the plate umpire and U1 pause, read, and react. U1 should definitely be out on a ball hit deep that is close to the line. The plate umpire has tag-up responsibilities at third if this ball is caught, but must remain at home for plays there on a base hit. Having previously discussed tag-up coverages, we are assuming on this play that the ball is clearly down for a hit. This initiates U1's reverse rotation and the plate umpire staying home. This is the same coverage and the same play as with runners at first and second, just an extra runner on the bases. R3 will score easily and is really a non-factor, resulting in the play being nearly identical to runners on first and second. These are the three remaining situations in the mechanics manual with the bases loaded. They are the same or nearly the same as the situation with runners at first and second, except that the plate umpire now has the tag up at third and lining it up with the catch. In the interest of brevity, you can review those plays rather than repeat them here. With runners at first and third, the coverage for catches in the infield and outfield is the same as with runners at first and second. The base umpires are in the same positions as well, except that U1 is once again working in the closer A position, as the first baseman is likely holding the runner on. Just as with runners on first and second, this situation is a reverse rotation for U1. He communicates to U3 that he is behind him, and U1 has all plays on the batter runner at first and second. Should R1 make a big turn and return to second base and a play is made there, the call belongs to U3. With U1 going out on the ball, the crew reverts to two-man coverage. Just as in two-man, the plate umpire observes the tag up at third and moves to a position to call the play at the plate. U3 has all the action on the bases. This play is nearly identical to a ball down the line with runners at first and second, except now there is no responsibility for the plate umpire at third base. Just judge the ball and return home. Having 2 outs is the significance of this play, as it shows how there are lesser duties for the plate umpire who just camps out at home. The mechanogram further shows that there is no catch on this routine ball, so there is a throw to second base on the batter runner. No catch of the ball is the key here. Plate umpire observes that and stays at home. The batter runner attempts to reach second. U1 trails him there and has the play on the batter runner at second. This is the first scenario where U1 is not on the first baseline. That flips the outfield coverage, making U1 now the primary judge of balls to the outfield. U3 has the trouble area on the left field line and can take back trouble balls to left center field by going out. The plate umpire now has a small area of fly ball coverage on the right field line. This coverage is with less than 2 outs. Very straightforward coverage for this play. The only real movement is by U1 from his initial position into a position to observe the touch and any play at first. A couple of things to note on this play. Because U1 has the ball, plate has the touch of first. The manual says if the ball drops, U1 has the touch. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think plate should have the touch, but U1 would have a play there if the ball is not caught. Also, U1, unlike 2-man, does not have the tag up of R2. He should be moving to the best position to view the catch. With this ball going to the right field line, responsibilities shift. Since the plate umpire has the ball, U1 is now free to line up the tag of R2, and all R3 has to do is get in position for the play at third. With 2 outs, the likely play will be at first base, so we want U1 back in the A position. This obviously changes outfield coverage. It is unlikely that there would be a play for the third out on R2 at third, but I have seen it happen. If it does happen, U3 needs to move forward toward the working area to get an angle. Moving toward third initially will likely get you straight-lined. The mechanogram here shows U1 rotating into the infield. This is an option that needs to be determined in the pregame meeting. If rotating in is to be used, then as soon as it is determined to be a hit, U3 needs to slide to third. In fact, he can move out of the infield for a potential play at third. R2 is very likely headed home, so the other option is that U1 goes outside and observes the batter runner touch first and would have a play on a throwback there. U3 is already in the infield and can take the batter runner into second. This is the same positioning as with a runner at second only, and outfield coverages are the same as well. It is important on this play to realize that this is a clean hit, so there is no discussion about catch coverage. Both runners are going to attempt to score, and the batter runner stops at first. Pretty straightforward play here. Coverage converts to 2-man with U3 going out. The mechanogram indicates that both runners are tagging. With 1 out, this could result in a time play. Unlike 2-man, the plate umpire can concentrate on the catch here without having to get the tag up as well. He should go up the line as far as he can and still have time to get back to the plate. U3 doesn't have many tag-up responsibilities at third. This is one that he has to remember. This is another situation where U3 gets the tag up of R3. The manual doesn't make this clear here, but since U3 has the tag up and U1 has the ball, the plate umpire should get the touch of first by the batter runner. With 2 outs, U1 moves back to the A position and U3 is in C. Like the play with a runner at second only, this needs to be pre-gamed as to whether or not U1 reverse rotates into the infield. The mechanogram with R2 only showed a rotation, this one does not. With 2 outs, R2 and R3 are both likely headed home, leaving only the batter runner to be dealt with on the bases. I don't think it warrants a reverse rotation, but the crew should decide in the pregame. With a runner at third only, U3 is slightly closer to the third base bag than he would be with no runner. Infield catches and outfield coverage is the same as when no one is on base. U3, don't forget to move into the infield just because you have a runner at third. With coverage for catches is the same as with no one on base, here the plate umpire does not rotate to third as he would with the bases empty. With the runner in scoring position, plate stays home and U3 picks up coverage at third as well as second base. The mechanogram has U1 going out to judge the catch. The next mechanogram in the manual is the same fly ball except U1 comes into the infield. U1 has catch responsibility whether he goes out or not. If he comes into the infield, then U3 can line up the tag of R3. This requires U1 to make a quick decision on the ball and for U3 to read U1 before knowing whether to line up the tag or to come in. I don't feel this is worth the risk of not having anyone in the infield. U3 is not used to having tag-ups. He should just come into the infield, the plate umpire has the tag up, and if U1 elects not to go out, he can observe the batter runner and any play at first from foul ground. On this play, U3 must be very loud and strong on his communication that he is going out. This is because U1 has a long run to get into the working area and has to know right away that U3 is out. As depicted here, U1 has to come all the way across as R3 bluffed tagging for home, returned to third, and drew a throw. While this review is over, I would suggest that you read through the manual paying close attention to detail for the plate umpire. The next time through, detail U1, and the third time through, U3. While we would all like to have no mechanic mistakes, most can be covered by another crew member and aren't noticeable to most fans, players, or coaches. Don't let a mechanic mistake lead you to missing a call that everyone notices.